Hello, Virgos. Welcome to your December year-end check-in. Probably when you're seeing this, because of when I'm uploading it, it's a year-end look at the new year to kind of check in. That's what we're going to do over here with the Archangels. So Archangel Metatron, represented by their symbol, and a couple Archangels here with musical instruments that they've chosen for my home decor. So that's about celebration and announcements. So they're going to talk about 2026. They don't have a sense of time, so I'm doing a seasonal spread when we get to the Archangels. So it'll just be like spring, summer, fall, winter. Over here, we have your spiritual entourage. They're going to do the 2025 sort of year-end check-in with us. Animal spirit guides, guardian angels, and your soul energies. We're going to do charms and cards with that group. So I do timestamp. If you want to skip ahead to your messages. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start getting the cards and charms, and we'll tune into your energies, Virgos, and see what your angelic and spiritual entourage want to connect with you on today. We're going to start with the Archangels, looking towards 2026 and seeing what they want to share with you today as you enter into your fresh year. So Happy New Year to all of you. Again, we're going to go through the seasons here and kind of get a sense of I don't know, maybe it'll be a major theme, or a main, not a major theme, but a main theme to your year, or an event, situation. Now we'll get the charms. I'm going to put the charms into this little angel dish, see which charms they choose first, and then we'll see what how they're going to associate them with the cards. Okay. I'm going to hold it so my hand doesn't bump into the face. So we'll see what charms your angels, your soul, your animal spirit guides I want to select for you as it relates to 2025, kind of check in, end of December here. Got some movement now. Let's see, trying to pull that. Well, it didn't quite work because I'm going to drop this big one out because I know they want this witch here. Okay, the other three. They were supposed to filter, so I'm going to put the witch back in. I'm just going to go off camera for a second, see if they drop any more in the bowl. Okay, I'm going to put them all in. We'll see. We've got my fireman, which is sort of X marks the spot. The witch is about getting outdoors, sort of youthfulness, playfulness. The large turtle is your soul. So definitely your soul's coming in to talk about a big shift. The flower is all about a choice that you made, and it's rippling forward, and some clarity and transparency. And then you've got balance and love. 2018, so 2025 was a milestone year for you. And then the crown and the golden crown and the affinity loop here. So I don't know if your mental space was kind of stuck in a loop in 2025, kind of went in and out of the same emotions, kind of feels like the same kind of roller coaster. And then the strawberry here, this is nutrition for your soul. So maybe you had some physical health as well this past year that we'll touch upon here, Virgo. So I wasn't expecting that many charms, but it is what it is. I tried twice and the charm stayed. So let's see. I was going to pick that up, but they don't want me to. So maybe it's a milestone, some kind of, I want to say stickiness, Maybe you stuck to something, or 2025 felt like a sticky year, kind of in your world of calendars. And now I'm throwing the cards all over the floor here. Sorry about that. Sticky, and the cards were kind of like let go. Maybe you had a hard time letting go this year of something. Maybe that's what was on your mind, kept looping back on your mind, mental space, on your mindset, your emotions. We'll see what we're pairing here with our sticky card. I'm just going to go and look back at 2025 here. Kind of looks like a foot at rest. You know, your leg is kind of lounging out. Your foot is up here. Maybe you were on bed rest. If I tune into sort of that health message I was seeing, nurturing. Sort of laying back here, relaxing. Well, we'll see. So we'll see where the charms want to go. And then we'll jump into your messages. Just got some movement here, so I'm just waiting. A little thumb twitch here. I'm going to go because I feel like the heart is kind of in the way. Maybe your emotions were in the way. Maybe that's why the foot's up. Okay, so we've got 2 left. I do feel like they need to go here. Maybe my fingers were a bit sticky. Sorry, guys. Okay. Oh. So here's your X marks the spot. This balance, transparency, and the golden crown and infinity did pair together with this looping emotional energy that was seeing your headspace, your crown, right? Okay. Just going to take the timestamp for our friends, and then we'll dive into your reading here. We'll start with our 2025 kind of in review. I'm going to come up here to this card that's stuck in the intro. It just stayed here, it's stuck, and then we had the cards that spilled out. So I was kind of getting the message of having a hard time letting go of something. Again, this is our 25 check-in, year-end check-in. My little witch here, she's all about getting out into like the fresh air, so into nature, being outside, movement, just moving the body more, being a bit more active. That's what she's all about here. So maybe you found your calendar more full. We'll see here. So they're paired with the Ace of Cups. And I'm really drawn into this brown eye here. This beautiful shining brown eye. And she's looking at the cup here, that she's scrying in the water. The eye is scrying in the water as the moon phases. So, and the cups for me is also sort of I don't know if you were paying close attention to, maybe this is the physical issue I was seeing, But I feel like you're paying close attention to these strings here of water droplets, but I'm not seeing them as strings. I'm seeing them as like nerve endings, or like the ligaments and muscles. Could be your bone structure, like fracture in bones. So I don't know what you kept a close attention on, Virgo. I don't know if this is your health, to be honest, because you're the one looking. You're the one watching. You're the one observing here, kind of seeing how this recovery is flowing, or researching surgery. I don't know what this is. You will know, but it was kind of all-encompassing. It did was always kind of weighing on you, was in the back of your mind, or it was part of your day. But there's just watching these closely, these strings of water here flowing. They feel very fragile. I don't know if you cared for an elderly person or pet, or maybe it doesn't even have to be elderly. I don't know why I did that. But just there seems to be some fragility here. So maybe you were a bit of I call them a PSW, personal service worker, a support worker. So maybe that's sort of a role you played for someone you love, someone close to you. You're kind of observing and watching this, which is interesting pairing with this get outside, into the fresh air, activity, play, sort of this return to activity, play. Maybe that's what you're wishing for them. Maybe that's what you were scrying and watching for, was their activity level, their movement. Again, I'm getting like muscles and fragility, bones. So maybe someone in your life wasn't as mobile, wasn't as excited to kind of do the activities that they used to do this year, and you were watching them closely. So again, the sort of foot up here at rest, recovery. I think I'm going to work backwards for whatever reason. So we're going to come here. 2018 for me is a milestone year timestamp. So 2025 was a significant year in the spread of years. So, if we look at the last 7 years or the decade, kind of wherever you are at in this period, 2025 was a year to remember, as they say. And I'm going to go down in the books. And maybe it's because of the care that you were kind of providing there. Let's see here. So we have the Knight of Wands for you, Virgo. Now, as soon as I looked at the card, I got the language of hailstorm, sort of the volcano, the rocks shooting out and flying out as with the eruptions, sort of the stones as the lava starts to flow. And you're kind of coming out of it. You're walking out of it here. So, maybe 2025 was quite rough for you. But there's this beautiful message of coming out of it, coming through it. The green here, this lush green, this is prosperity, abundance, recovery. If it's health, if this is tied to the health message above, the person's message above. But yeah, I get a sense that, 2025, in terms of a milestone year, memorable year, it looks like you had some rocky terrain, a major challenge, something that you had to overcome here. But you did so quite victoriously. You probably don't feel it. This knight feels, battled. You don't see it, but, I picture sort of his gear here, all of his armor kind of being more beaten up. The horse feels, tired. That was quite the journey, but you are out on the better side here. You got your beautiful little animal spirit popping in. I'll drop the meaning here, but I am reading this for whatever reason as a possum. I don't think that's what it is, but they're telling me possum. So I'll give you the meaning for the possum animal spirit as it relates to this milestone year. But it is a positive message. It's recognition that you went through some stuff or something this year in 2025, but you've come out of it. We're heading into 2026 here. but you've come out of it, and it looks like there's some healing, recovery, victory here. Okay. So there's a choice here that you made that's had a ripple effect that needs some nurturing. The strawberry is all about nurturing, giving good food to the body, giving a good positive energy and attention to something. But it's tied to a decision you've made a while ago. There's a ripple effect here. So it could have been earlier on in the year, it could have been a decision in 2023, 2024. But they want you to nurture it. Or sorry, it was 2025 in review. So maybe you nurtured this idea a bit. This could have been a little entrepreneurial spirit, a project, a new friendship, a move you made. There's something here where they want you to give sort of more fuel to this decision, help the ripples go further here. Let's see kind of what decision you made, and you gave a little bit of attention and interest to it, but maybe they want you to give it some more here in 2026. So we have the King of Cups sitting quite proudly here on his throne, very confident, and he's really wrapped in this beautiful orange sort of fabric element of his robe here. And that's all about creativity, problem solving, ingenuity, which ties in nicely with this idea, this birth of an idea, creative idea you had, a project that maybe you are thinking of starting but didn't. But it's the King of Cups, so this is a very emotional decision for you. So if it was to decide on a new start, like as I was saying, like a move or something you're trying to give focus to, it's quite emotional. So maybe that's kind of why you're in and out of this idea. Maybe it triggers you in the sense of like maybe you get frustrated easily if not enough progress is being made, or if you're waiting for feedback from others or waiting for somebody else to complete their part, because they're drawing me into sort of the waves crashing in and then the tide pulling out. So there's like lots of energy put into it, and then there's a moment of nothing and kind of waiting, and then lots of energy put into it, and then kind of returning to and from this idea. So again, tying back to give the idea not just a little strawberry, but like kind of sit in it, right? Give it much more thought. Your cup is kind of empty here, so maybe it's lacking in detail. Maybe it's still sort of a surface level, high level idea or concept that you're thinking through, and they want you to give, again, more nurture it more attention, more detail, more focus. They're making me jump over this card here. That's why I'm pausing. I thought I would just go straight, but we're going to kind of end on that one, it looks like. So we have the Golden Crown and the Affinity Loop. And in the intro, I kept getting emotions in some kind of like repetitive cycle or kind of going in and out of the same emotions. So that could be like, because it's the crown, so that could be battling, moments of depression, moments of just feeling not 100% yourself. If you went in and out of like sicknesses this year, you battled with colds. This could be sort of in and out, like not sustaining happiness, joy, peace, calm. But there's like this repeating in and out, in and out, in and out with your mindset. So it could be a situation or challenge you kept returning to and kind of thinking through. And then you kind of left it, and then you returned to it again, and then you left it, and then you returned to it again. But it's in your thoughts, the crown here. So your headspace kind of drifting in and out throughout the year, back and forth on this one, in this one area for you. Okay. So here's all your entourage. So your soul, up here in your orb. This is your soul home, your soul plan. You've got your guardian angels here, watching divine, universal, karmic energies at work. And then you have your animal spirit guides all kind of watching you, right? Scrying here in the water again. So a lot of water with you, a lot of emotion this year, definitely. Virgos, I think I've said emotions several times by now in your reading. So look at the light on your crown, on your headspace. Look at the thought that you're putting into. Let's see if I can get the camera to, come on. Okay, there we go. Like it's putting a shine right on your third eye here, your intuition. Look how your guardian angel is kind of looking at you. I didn't even realize. I thought she was looking down at the water, but look how she's peeking up at us. Okay, see? She's looking right at you, your guardian angel. Your intuition, there's a message here of like, you know what's happening. You kind of know the impact here. You're being intuitively encouraged. And here's the duality. Again, the two jugs of water here of the sort of universal support, right? Your angels are always going to support you through things. And we've got that two jugs. Is it this or is it that? Is it this or is it that? So maybe that's what was weighing on your mind. Maybe that's why I'm seeing this in and out, this loop. Should I, shouldn't I? Do we not? So maybe there was sort of a decision here, a pretty, it weighed so much on your mind because it's obviously on your heart here, your emotion space. But like I said, you kind of went in and out. Should I, shouldn't I? Is this right? Is it wrong? No real decision kind of made, no significant action made, but everybody's watching you. Your soul, your angels, your spirit guides, all kind of watching to see how are you going to make this choice? When are you going to make this choice? But this is year end, so we'll see if it shows up in 2026, because I don't think you've settled on anything yet. Still kind of working through it here. Okay. Then we have this card with 4 charms. So the big turtle, is soul energy. This means they're coming with your Akashic records. This is a significant impact. This is a new chapter to your story. This is reminding you of all your experiences, everything you've been through to help you move forward, because it's the big turtle, so it's here to really nudge you forward. And my fireman charm is kind of X marks the spot, which is, 2025 was the right time. 2026 will still be the time as now if you didn't complete this. You have all the tools you need as well. You've got your axe, your gear, your protective gear. So you have the resourcefulness and the resources, whatever you need. A reminder of you have the wisdom, the knowledge, the experiences under your belt. So here's everything you need to restore this kind of balance here. Looks like it's probably in a relationship with the love in the middle. So, maybe you struggled with a family member or a friend or your partner, but there's opportunity to restore this balance. It all comes from transparency, clarity, vulnerability, honesty, authenticity. That's what this leaf is all about. So kind of willing to be in this kind of more gentle space, I guess, kind of approach, being open-minded as well with this kind of see-through element. So, the leaf hasn't been created. It's just sort of structural. So being open-minded to kind of fill in the blanks, fill in your canvas here to restore this balance to this relationship. But you have everything you need. And don't forget your experiences here. Heavy emphasis on what you already lived, what you already know. The time is right to kind of step forward. Well, here you are kind of doing exactly that, stepping forward. Here I am, let's have a conversation, right? The 7 of Wands, you're walking in with your wand. So definitely getting with these other wands, because you're matching. So either this was family unit drama or situation or connection, or this would be a friend group, a colleague group, a team. So a very specific circle of people, kind of smaller network in your life that this situation or this individual is part of. But there's this encouragement to walk forward. Again, you're holding your wand. You have everything you need. You're wearing blue, purple, red. So that's heart, emotions, intuition, passion. And then you have this beautiful adornment of green. So this possibility of recovery, this sort of good fortune that's placed on it. Like good luck, I should say, good luck that's placed on you, kind of stepping forward here. I don't think any communication happened though. That's what I find interesting here is, his lips or his mouth is closed, his lips I feel are like tight. So he's stepping forward, but there's no actual communications. Maybe that's why your soul here is trying to tell you need to kind of shift, kind of push. This is all about clarity. So clarity and communications to find the balance. So maybe we came here last because this is kind of unfinished. You started, but communication's not flowing yet. The conversation's not flowing yet. That kind of good luck that your soul has placed on you taking action. It's like you took the first step. So congratulating you for that. You've reconnected maybe, but I feel like the conversation that needs to be had here, the communication needs to be had here to sort of repair this balance, to apply your knowledge, your skills, your resourcefulness hasn't happened yet. Maybe you step forward near the tail end here of the year, so it'll happen here in 2026. So we'll jump forward now. We'll go over to the Archangels and look at 2026 and see how these messages are connecting. But it seems like you definitely had a milestone year in terms of what was weighing on your mind, obviously some care, some nurturing here in two areas. And then over here, sort of the weighing on the mind, the decision, the action that you took, and then you kind of pause, right? Little steps here. So you did one little step, two little steps, and we'll see how much further you're going to go forward here. Okay, so the Archangels, looking at 2026 with our Archangels, the main theme, the top card before we get into the seasonality is the Magician. A little bit of a message here of setting to work, setting to task. Kind of nice to get the number one card, or the number one. It's the first day of the year. It's a new year, fresh start, new beginning. And here you are as your little wizard, your little magician here at work, kind of looking at his spell book, figuring out the next step, which is kind of what we were talking there at the end of 2025. You took a step, and now next step. You can see his trials here, kind of in the magical dust, his attempts, kind of checking his list of, do I have everything I need? And look how much further away you are from that volcano now. You're surrounded by water and land and stability. So sort of that rockiness from 2025. Maybe 2025 was a bit unpredictable, or you struggled. That looks like it's behind you here. So 2025 is behind you. Okay, so we're going to go through the seasons. I'm Canadian, so I'll put some months to my seasonality as it relates to just sort of my experience and understanding of the seasons. Again, Archangels don't really have a sense of time when it comes to like the human clock and calendar. Okay. I'm coming here for spring. So spring for me is March, April, May. We have the King of Wands. And you're talking, well, you're not talking, you're listening. You're standing in the field listening to your dragon here speak to you. But he's spitting fire, so doesn't seem too happy or pleased. I don't know if this is a cold, like I don't know if this is the person or pet you were taking care of over here. I feel like they're struggling like with a scratchy, dry throat. Like coughing would do that. So I don't know if there's like a lingering. Sometimes we feel better, but we just have that lingering dry cough, or I don't know why they're placing emphasis on this. Maybe it's to help you distinguish who this individual is, because you're still observing, you're watching, you're listening, you're kind of taking care of your dragon until it's feeling 100% better. But there's this emphasis on sort of this throat area, back of the throat area. If you're not caring for someone, this could be you waiting on receiving a message or communication from someone, because this would be the throat chakra. And since I'm getting dryness and scratchiness, they ain't talking to you. So if you're hoping and waiting to hear from them in the spring, I do not think you'll hear from them in the spring. So kind of a nice quiet energy here in the spring, but sort of setting expectations for you that March, April, May, there won't be much conversation flowing, or you're going to be continuing to kind of look at and care for maybe these final stages of recovery. Again, this kind of dry cough, dry throat feeling that I'm getting. We're going to go into summer. So you have the Six of Cups. Definitely a complete change of energy and atmosphere here. So sort of a quiet spring to an energetic summer. Quite busy. I'm drawn to all the air balloons here. All the creativity that's rolling down the hills, all the orange kind of bushes and flowers here are all like inspiration, motivation, creative energy kind of flowing in towards you. They're emphasizing this kind of bridge that they're standing on here. Standing on some kind of bridge, bridging the gap, closing the gap. You know, maybe that's the next step by summer, sort of this idea over here that you were nurturing. Maybe the summertime is when you're able to kind of get right into it and kind of close the gap here on getting things done. Maybe a project got put on hold, and the summertime is when you're able to get right back to it. But you got some beautiful support here. You got a companion that's helping you out, but there is this bridging of a gap, this bringing together sort of these two sides here. Whoops. Sorry about fussing with the camera. But yeah, this summertime you're kind of you're busy here. You're kind of future focused. You're looking out, but you're completing sort of this project. You're completing this decision, or you're making the decision. But a lot of happiness here in summertime. A lot of playfulness, good energy, really positive energy here. And maybe because you're completing this project, this idea, this decision. June, July, August. I think I forgot to say months. So we're heading into fall, which for me is tail end of August, September, October, early days of November. We have the Four of Wands here. Kind of comfy, cozy, my comfy, cozy kitties. I like to say, sitting in the window, enjoying each other's companionship, enjoying the heat from the flames of the candles here. Kind of looking back at summer, reflecting back at everything you did in summer. Look at your collection of those flowers, all those memories, moments. So busy summertime, kind of quiet spring, waiting for some news or information. Then a busy summer full of happiness, joy, movement. And then you go into this kind of quiet, peaceful fall energy. You're very attuned here, Virgo, to even just the general kind of flavor and sense of seasons. You know, you're kind of reflecting how I feel seasons. Like spring is usually waiting for the thaw, right? Waiting for the warmth to come back. Summer, it's get outside, have fun. Fall, it's start to relax again and, prepare for the winter. And your cards are reading like that. So I'll head into winter, this time next year, November, December, Jan, Feb of 2027. And you've got our beautiful star card here. And you're grabbing onto your next goal, your next dream or wish that you want to come true. This is you checking in on your soul plan, your soul journey, sort of what's next. I'm ready. They're pulling me into the stars here that have more color to them up in the sky. So the yellow, the green, purple, orange, pink, and they're showing me like chakras. So your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual alignment coming together here by the end of 2026. So maybe the sort of the ease of the year in contrast to your 2025. So again, that year stamp, right? 2025 was impactful enough to kind of stick out in your mind. But 2026 has sort of this beautiful ease, this beautiful rhythm where you can refocus and pick sort of, like I said, that next goal, that next decision, prepare for 2027. So walking away for that energy of 2025, a calmer energy in 2026, heading into a very optimistic, hope-filled 2027 here. So if you were looking for a bit of a quieter year, a year that some reason I want to say like feels more aligned with like your natural kind of annual rhythm, what you like and prefer, looks like you're heading into that. Sorry, I was fussing with the camera because I don't know what's going on, why I keep hitting it and knocking it. I am doing these readings late, and I didn't do any readings for you guys or anyone throughout the month just because of my schedule. So I've asked loved ones to come in and do like a bit of a sneak peek at 2026, let you know something that's coming up, either to help prepare you for, just to give you a little bit of excitement now, but you'll forget about it, so it won't ruin the experience when it happens. So they chose my little owls from my home decor. And we'll do 3 cards, and we'll see what their sneak peek message is to you for 2026. What your loved ones want to share with you today. Okay. Just trying to see which card they want to start with here. I feel like they're both kind of looking here at this first card. So, a message from your loved ones. And we have you relaxing. The World card, but you're starting to relax here. So even they can see that sort of more calm energy here for 2026. So sort of a rest assured, it will come true. You'll be able to relax, feel better with this. You're kind of laying in this beautiful lush green. So recovery, rejuvenation. She kind of has that spa-like robe on. And then you have your angelic golden energy hue wrapping around you as well. So physical peace, and healing, mental space, peace and healing, your environment, right? The world. So this is your home base, your work environment, maybe just the city you live in, whatever it is, the country you live in. There's nice calmness that's going to start to surround you here that you're going to be able to enjoy. We have the Empress, equal calm energy here, right? She's leaning against the tree. She's got her white dress on here, which is all hope, optimism, calmness, peace. They were pulling me up to her hair accessory here. I believe it's feathers, but I was reading it as like two little tails. Yeah, it's feathers. I was reading it as like two little like fluffy tails, like those fake fur kind of keychains that you can get, like a lucky rabbit's foot, or sometimes it mimics like an animal tail, like a fox tail, raccoon tail, whatever. But they're kind of caressing your shoulder here, this nice soft gentleness, playfulness. I don't know if you lost pet or pets with the two tails here, but even like your loved ones, so people or pets come through. But there's like this gentle brush here of like the tail. Cats, dogs, rabbits, wherever you have here. Maybe if you're out in nature, animals just come to you from nature. But even they're kind of giving you some gentle caressing here. Maybe you'll get a new pet, or a new member of the family. Could be a new child being introduced, grandchild, with her sort of caressing her belly here and sort of the gentleness here. Feels like a bit of a transition here. Older pet to a younger pet, and sort of the peace and calm that goes with it, this joy. So if it's not a pet, there's some kind of nice companionship, or if you are in a relationship or a key relationship, there's a gentleness. There's a return to this gentleness, this supporting energy, maybe a renewed or rejuvenated start. Maybe you and a friend reconnect and you find your bond again. And there's a beautiful gentleness to that. Wow, look at all the relaxing. Talk about your foot being up, right? When we were in 2025, you were relaxing back with your foot up. And then all three cards from your loved ones coming on the tail end of your Archangel message is all this relaxation, healing, rejuvenation, even with the Page of Pentacles, with the Sunflower. This is a new start. This is a new beginning. This is an opportunity that you grab a hold of. And you're in your force of abundance, prosperity, good health, vitality. Look at all the angelic strings here encircling your body, keeping you mentally and physically, emotionally fit and focused on this new idea, new beginning, opportunity, forgiveness, whatever it is, friendship that's coming in for you here. Pretty important though. Big singular sunflower here. So relaxing, enjoyment, return to peace, beautiful companionship. And then we have this big new beginning, this big new opportunity that has some good luck, some good fortune connected to it, attached to it. Something can possibly go in your favor, right? But it feels like you need to be in this relaxed state. You need to be back into your rhythm, into your natural energy here, your alignment, right? Your chakra alignment, Virgos. And then when this comes and you grab a hold of it, you'll be ready physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Everything's going to align. You're going to be ready for this. So new beginning, new start, some nice hope, optimism, peace, calmness, companionship. Beautiful messages here for your 2026. So we'll check in throughout 2026. I'll get back to my natural rhythm on videos. And we'll see, how this sort of contrast, right? Sort of this balance that we saw over here, sort of this more hectic, more kind of up in the air, maybe a year full of rocky moments, flowing into this year of kind of a better flow, a better rhythm, more happiness, more joy that I see coming out of the cards over here.